You probably have seen it already or heard about it. I was about to say the Gooniverse, but it's the Gameoverse. It's like this new little short concept pilot that just recently came out, and there's been a whole lot of drama coming out recently for it, and I thought it was very intriguing. The amount of comments calling it Gooner bait, Gooner designs, you name it, I think is actually insane, and I want to talk about this so bad. But before we do that, I just want to say the Panda has a little gift for y'all. For those that have been keeping up on my YouTube post page, Panda is currently in the studio cooking up something. He said, just wait on it. Well, he's ready to now finally show it. He knows that you've been seeing this little overlay on the screen and you want to see the Panda in 4K, not this blurry, 360p reminiscent of the early 2000s YouTube. I know it's old. Panda gets it. So he wanted to make something brand new for y'all. So without further ado, here is the updated look. Oh yeah, there we go. The 4K Panda ready to go. Look at him. He's happy. He's ready to go. And the other OC Aki is there with him as well too. The whole family is there. So say hi to the new banner video overlay. Just wanted to show this real quick. I didn't want it to be like a jump scare surprise. And you're like, whoa, this looks different. Did he even say anything about it? No, I want to make a little announcement. Here you go. Think it looks really good. So yeah, enjoy it. Hope you like it. I also have something going on soon for this as well too. We have the live Panda reaction. I might change this and put something else there soon. But for now, it'll just be that. But yeah, all right, let's get into the video. Okay, so to give a little bit of context, yesterday Glitch posted the first pilot episode for Game Over. For people wondering who Glitch is, in case you don't know, there are people who did the Amazing Digital Circus. I know there's probably going to be some people who go into the comment section saying, who doesn't know about that? It's most widely known. Guess what? I barely even knew about it myself. I'm gonna be real. I never even really looked into it. I've heard about it on and off, but I didn't know Glitch was the people behind Amazing Digital Circus. I didn't even know really anything about it until I looked into all this. Anyways, but the point is, yesterday they released this, and one of the first things that came across my feed yesterday was this, and it said,
try to find out who the hero is or the villain of this game world.
Main character Cat switching to different
They're
outfits.
after us, Gobble.
And they're just like, yo, holy, oh my God. They're like, goddamn. She got the swimsuit on, ready to go, all these different outfits. They're just saying that she looks pretty good in all of them. And yeah, I mean, realistically, does the design speak anything that's like super wild? Personally speaking, no, not at all. I think that is just fine. I don't think that there is anything inherently wrong with it. But when you go to a place like Twitter, when you talk to people on there, dog, they're going to have you thinking otherwise. There are so many tweets that I've seen in the past 24 hours that would make me believe, if I didn't know anything beforehand, that this was going to be a cartoon, anime, whatever you want to call it, where the main OC, the main character, is going to have some gigantic titties jiggling every time she takes a step, and she's going to have a fat ass that is just bouncing and doing the craziest things on every single scene. That's how bad these people are, and this discussion is so insane. And let me just show you the first one, dog. So here's one of the first tweets. This person says, she's so obviously designed to be gooner material, she ends up not being attractive at all. And then they continue on by saying, oh my God, is it not clear? I was just trying to say she is overly sexualized. You have nearly 100,000 followers. Can you not have people attack me for some meaningless bullshit? And pretty much someone was quote retweeting them, pretty much saying how stupid the tweet is. Yeah, I mean, it is stupid. What are you talking about? What are you saying that for some meaningless bullshit? Then why are you tweet about it? You're trying to make it sound like that this design is inherently gooner bait design, that this is some character that has, again, and mind you, if you knew nothing about this character's design beforehand, then you would probably be under the assumption that you're about to see some character, some woman drawn with like, I guess J-cup titties and a fucking ass that could just sit on the entire planet Earth itself. Like, that is the way these people make it sound like, and you can tell that these people are just really trying to be Puritans at this point. You like, I'm already kind of spoiling some of the points that people are going to make, but it's really like, have you never been to a beach? Have you never seen women? Like, are we just going to be under this presumption that women are just going to be like plank boards and that's it? And then they have like no curves at all? Like, this is nowhere near even like close to being super sexualized. This is not even remotely like I don't understand the mentality people have. But you know what? Maybe I'm jumping ahead because there's more posts, there's a lot more discussions, and we're gonna go through all of them because I saved a lot of them because I wanted to talk about it on video. So let's go to the next part. So then they had this tweet right here, and they said this transformation here, highlighting her ass and boobs for a moment, and just like other shots, like the one I quote tweeted where they heavily emphasized her boobs. Like, you can't tell me they aren't pandering to the audience even a little. And so this is what they're showing. Like, be so for real right now. The way they are talking in their tweet, they make it sound like this is some of the anime type transformations where the second the girl starts to transform, she goes completely naked. And then as it starts to put her clothes on for her transformation outfit, then her titties start to bounce everywhere. And then her ass will start to jiggle as well too. Like, the way they make their tweet sounds as if that's what I'm about to look at, and that's not even remotely there. But they'll say, by emphasize, I mean the jiggle physics. Her boobs did not need to bounce like that here. It's very much so for the male gaze, and that isn't inherently bad if you like it, I guess, but very much not hot and sexy to me. Also, okay, one final thing. Where did I say you're a bad person for finding her attractive? I just said her sexualization was forced to a point I found it unattractive. You find her attractive, you might be a gooner, but that isn't a bad thing inherently. And then someone replies back saying, classic anime slash Sentai did this all the time. Look at the likes of Sailor Moon and Power Rangers slash Kamen Rider. It's a detailed shot to show that part of transformation. Nothing more, nothing less. And they replied back saying the camera did not zoom in on the ass and tits and all this. I'm talking specifically about the focus in the camera. And then they said, I just found this gift by searching Sailor Moon. You're finding nitpicks rather than just admitting you don't like the show. And they said the perspective here in the Gameoverse very specifically is changing positions to focus on the boobs and ass or her body is. The camera is static in this GIF. It doesn't zoom in on them. Okay, actually, there's a little bit of underskirt here. This is an example pandering to the audience as well too. And then just more people are replying saying, where else would the clothes go? Like, it's a top and bottom. That's how clothes work. And they don't, I'm pretty sure they meant to say jiggle, but they said, and they don't jiggle either. And then another person said, every day you got to see takes from teenagers that get their entire moral compass from performative Twitter prudes. And that's actually true. That's 100% true. But yes, this woman transforming, the camera pans over her entire body as she transforms. And then this person said, this is basically your stock standard magical girl transformation. This is excessively tame. And yeah, it is. Like, dog, this is not even remotely anything that I look at and be like, oh my God. Like, I'm looking at this and I didn't even say anything that's remotely like titties jiggling, titties bouncing, anything like insane. Like, you're out of pocket. You're like so up to Puritan copium, you're sniffing that shit and you think that this is like, God forbid, if you think that this is excessive, brother, you need to just log off Twitter, go outside, maybe rethink some things and just go see people, because this is not even remotely bad. This is the most tame shit that I've seen in a hot minute. It's crazy seeing people even say this, but I think there is a lot of truth to be said about the teenagers that are pretty much on these platforms and they see certain things and they're trying to be more or less performative. I do genuinely think that whether or not you agree with the way they worded it, the point is still true. I've seen it a lot, which I had done some artwork at Juno that I posted on TikTok for fun. And for those that are wondering, it was this. And my Lord, some people lost their entire mind. They're like, what the hell is this? This body type is insane. This is crazy. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. And it's like, brother, first of all, if you've ever seen my other art, you know this is the most tame that I've ever had for my art. Let's just be clear here. Second of all, this is not even realistically that big of a deal. This is not even that crazy of a design. Sure, you can say that she has some bigger titties than usual. We can go into the nitty gritty detail and all that. But in the grand scheme of things, this is an extremely safe design. But with the way you would have read some comments under my TikTok post for this, it's wild. And I can tell that pretty much it's just all teenagers on the platform or actual literal toddlers who shouldn't even be on there to begin with. And they're just, the second they see anything that's even remotely a curve, they're like, oh no, this is ridiculous. What are you doing? This is disgusting. Stop. yes, there is such thing as a lot of fan service and exaggerated proportions, and there are things that are pushing a little bit too much, but that's not even realistically close to that. Like, if you see my art, you know what some real fan service and some what really excessive stuff looks like, and that's not even remotely it. But continuing on, here's another dumbass take. Someone said nothing wrong with fan service, but it just makes me iffy that the only female characters centered around in the episode are wearing bikinis and have the same body type. Are we being for real? And then they got a community note saying community notes are used to provide additional context for potentially misleading statements. Gameoverse features multiple female characters of varying proportions and outerwear, contrary to Op's claim. The only two to wear bikinis are on a beach planet. And yeah, they got community noted because, again, another stupid message. And then they had to follow up by saying, why do we have to resort to y'all assuming that I'm fat, saying this hello? Pretty sure some people might have said that. Fucked up to say that, assume that, yes, it's like the obvious stuff, but still a stupid take regardless. But continuing on, they said, oh my god, y'all acting as if I'm a purist as fuck when I'm just sharing a genuine concern over this. Yes, I know characters can be sexualized, but if every character is just gonna have the same body type, especially female characters, it's just bland and sauceless. And again, that's why you got community noted to be proven that you are indeed wrong. Why are we even doing this? I couldn't tell you. This is literally a 32-minute pilot. You can go and see all the different characters on here, and you can go and form your own decisions. It's really not that big of a deal. Again, it's really just reaching just to reach, and it's like, why, dog? And it's actually just literally embarrassing. It's actually some just straight embarrassment from these people. Another person, I think that points it out pretty well. They start off by saying, in quotes, nothing wrong with fan service, but, and then they say, fuck these people. These are the type of people who ruin Newgrounds. Some fucking all, in quotes, art is subjective, but you're objectively wrong, in quotes, type shit. Yeah. And then another person says, the best part about discussions in regards to this character design is that if you knew Ross in any capacity, you would have expected at least something akin to this. Personally, I don't really know Rebel Ross, so I couldn't tell you if this tweet is wrong or not, but I mean, I wouldn't be 100% surprised if I'm being completely transparent. Another person says, draw a character with an exposed midriff and people act like they're watching High School of the Dead. Yeah, if you've ever seen that show, yeah, if you've ever seen that anime, you haven't seen nothing yet, dog. Like, I'm telling you, you have to be really sheltered. You have to really be, I guess, never seen anything at all to think that that was somehow super sexualized, super gooner bait heavy, and that's pretty much almost like the designs you would almost see in like cartoons when you were growing up as a kid. Like, there is nothing inherently wild about these designs. As another person says right here, it says, I genuinely think y'all need to get real problems because this shit got a single episode with only a handful of characters in it, and y'all immediately pull into there's no body diversity as if this is One Piece doing the same female body shape for 1,000 episodes for 30 years. Another person says right here, says, I'm getting so tired of y'all. She looks cute and has curves. Another person putting it right here, says, as a woman, I genuinely can't see the problem in a woman character wearing a bikini and having boobs. Kiss design doesn't look sexualized in any way. You people are just too dirty-minded to see women in swimsuits. Anyways, watch Gameoverse. It's peak. One person said right here, says, this is what I'm saying. Literally any normal person who saw a woman in their lives know that this is just pretty women in bikinis in a beach world. Calling it fan service as if they were actively doing some anime level shit is just incel talk. Have y'all ever gone swimming? Bleach fans will argue night and day saying that Amazing Digital Circus characters have big hips and shit, and when they get a show where the characters actually look like that, they freak out because they don't want to look like gooners. And then another person saying y'all calling this gooner bait would die if you went to the beach. And yeah, I mean, realistically, this is the most ridiculous thing I've seen, and this should have never even blown up the way it has. If you happen to see any of these designs and the first thought that came to your mind is, oh my god, these are sexualized as hell, these are super sexualized, this is disgusting, oh my god, you need to just log off the internet. You need to go touch some grass and actually go see reality, and you need to understand that women have titties, women have curves, and to try and pretend in your mind that that's not an actual thing and that women can't have that is, I think, delusional. It's one thing to just not be happy with the designs and to not like the designs. You're free to have that. Everyone's allowed to have that opinion. But to claim and say that it's gooner bait, that it's over sexualized, and that it's disgusting and everything else, you're reaching way too far. And I think that's an insane take to have. It's literally the most bare, tame design that you could probably find. And this design just happens to look good to people and they find it attractive. They think she looks hot in their outfits, and that's it. But there's nothing inherently super sexual about it that makes people say, holy fuck, this is crazy. Not even close,
No.
dog. Not even close. It's really not that big of a deal. But yeah, I just want to talk about this because this is actually ridiculous. This is stupid, dog. Yeah, I'm gonna leave you here. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm sure you will.